now we're going to finish the paw, and as you remember in the last video, we had gotten to the row 10 and made 10 rows, and according to what I see here, we're going to make two more identical to the last row we made. So then let's just do that, and then I will come back and say what to do next. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Okay, so we have now completed the two next rows, which were identical to the last one I made in the last video. So it should look something like this. And now we're going to make the next row, which will always start with 4 double crochets at the start of the row. So let's make that. One, two, three, and 4. And as the pattern now says, if you can see here, we're going to make this one. So we have to start with 2 open squares. Then we're going to make 4 filled in, and then 4 open, 3 filled in, 4 open, 4 filled in, and 2 open. And I will guide you through because unless you want to pause and play and pause and play, we're making 2 open squares. So chain 2, and then in the third stitch make a double crochet, chain 2, and then in the third stitch make a double crochet, and then we're going to make 12 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then we're going to chain 2 and double crochet on top of the double crochet in the which is in the third stitch. So chain 2 again, make yet another open square, chain 2, making the third square same as the 2 before, and then chain 2, then make the last square, and then the pattern says 3 filled in, so then we're just going to make 9 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, chain 2, and then double crochet into the third stitch, chain 2, double crochet into the third stitch, and chain 2, double crochet into the third stitch, chain 2, and a double crochet into the third, and then we have 4 open squares, and then we are going to make 12 double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, and now I almost made a mistake of making more. I'm supposed to have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I did miscount. 11, 12. Very smart tip is to double check if something is off when you have counted. And then we're making 2 open squares, chain 2, double crochet into the third stitch, chain 2, and double crochet into the third stitch, and then 3 double crochets to finish off the row. Just like come on, there we go. So, and the result then should look something like this. As you can see, I have 2 open, 4 filled in, 4 open, 3 filled in, 4 open, 4 full, 2 open, and yeah. So once I get back to the next row, I will continue the video. Okay, we're back, and the result should look something like this. And now we only have a few rows left with the actual pattern. The next row, it starts with 2 open, so let's make that. And we always start with the 4 double crochets. I really ought to start making these for the first 4 double crochets before I start filming, because they take quite a lot of time in filming, and this is a note to myself, which I will use for future reference. 3 and 4, and then chain 2, and into the third stitch make a double crochet, chain 2, and into the third make a double crochet, and then we're going to make 2 filled in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to make 3 open squares, so chain 2, and then into the third stitch we are making a double crochet, and I missed the thread, so I have to make the double crochet again into the third stitch. So that's 1, chain 2, double crochet into the third, and then chain 2 and double crochet into the third stitch, and then we have 3 open, and then we're making 2 filled in squares, so 6 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to make 5 open, so chain 2, double crochet into the third, that's 1, chain 2, double crochet into the third stitch, that's 2, chain 2, double crochet into the third, chain 2, double crochet into the third, chain 2, and double crochet into the third, and then we mirror what's on the other side of those 5 open. So actually both sides should now look something like this on the top row, and I'll start again when we are going to the next row. Okay, checking in. Your work should look something like this. And I forgot what I told myself to pre-make the starting for double crochets. So this might be a continuing problem while I'm filming, because usually I'm just making them and the rest of the motif as I go, and I'm not used to filming that I'm actually doing anything other than just working and talking. But yeah, the next row says to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open squares, and every row, the next 1, 2, 3, 4 rows will have 6 open squares at the start and 6 open at the end of the row. So you will have to make the 4 double crochets in the start, make 6 open, and then after having done so for 2 rows, you will have to add 1 more at the towards the center, but I'll show, but at least the next 2 rows will be identical. So we're now going to make 6 open squares, and by now you should know how to make the open square. and that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and I did not make that one right. 4, 5, and there we go. 6, and then I have to make 4 filled in. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my thread did split on me, so I have to remake some of the double crochets. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we're going to make 3 open. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 4 filled in and 6 open, and then we do the exact same on the next row after. So after we have done that, I will come back and show you the progress. Okay, just before I'm going to make more, it'll look like this, and now we only have 3 more rows of actual pattern, then a row of just open squares, and then the last top row of double crochets. So I'll be back once I am done to make the 2 next identical rows. Okay, so for the next 2 rows, which will be identical, we are going to start with 4 double crochets and then 6 open, and then we are going to make 5 filled in. So you start here and then have one more in towards the middle, which is the middle one of the 3 ones, and then you're just going to repeat on the other side. So basically you'll have 5 filled in, 1 open, 5 filled in, and 6 open, and the last 4 row of 4 double crochets. And we're going to repeat this 2 times, so 2 rows of this, and then I will come back for the last row. Just checking in before I'm making preparations for the next row, and it should look something like this. So for this last row with actual pattern, we are going to make 7 open squares after the 4 double crochets, and then we are going to make 3 full, which means 9 double crochets in a row, and then we're going to have 3 open, 9 double crochets, and 7 open again. And I will repeat. We have 7 open, 3 filled in squares, 3 open, 3 filled in, and then 7 open. And I will be back once I've done that, and then I will tell you how to finish this last part, because the last part is quite easy and takes quite a lot less time. Okay, so this will be the last check-in before I'm finished. As you can see now, the pattern is basically complete. All I'm missing now is to make a row of only open squares from side to side. So 4 double crochet, 23 open squares, and then have a total of 4 double crochets at the end. And then I will make a row of only double crochets all the way around, like from start to fit to the last, from the first stitch to the last stitch. I will then be back when I have done that, and we can then compare our works, and if your sideway lines in the middle are far thinner than mine, it's because I'm taking a row of single crochet all the way back, because that's how I like to do things. It takes a lot more time, but I personally find the look far better when it's my own work, but people do as they feel like. So yeah, I will see you in a bit, and then we can compare, and then this two-part tutorial will be done. Okay, so if you have done as I told before, I had a break, and before I made the last of this fun little project, you should have something that looks somewhat similar to this. As you can see, I have made a paw, and it's quite small. I'm using very fine thread. You can use bigger thread and the picture will be bigger. I'm going to sell this item in my Etsy shop called Dragon's Filet Crochet. DRAGONSFILETCROChet. So yeah, I'm now going to finish it off, and since I just left with this loop, I have to cut the thread and then use a needle to kind of tuck in the ends. And what I actually do, instead of just pulling out, I will actually use the loop and somewhat create a knot for this so that it'll stay locked. And as you're pulling through, it'll try to make itself not work. I am using quite a small needle, but big enough you can ish see ahead, but my camera is not really wanting to focus. At least you can see the needle, but the head is The eye of the needle is just big enough for this type of thread to go through. So I'll just make the thread go through, and then I will start by making the thread go in like so. There are multiple ways of fastening the thread. I'm just doing this my way, and then I will go through here and just go back and forth, and I will do the same with the tail from the start. And this has been quite a fun little break from the sloth, because the sloth had made just so much yarn barf, and although I have basically worked through all the yarn barf it made and rewound the what should I call it, yarn cake, it's still not done, because as you saw I cut off some pieces and I have to use what I can, because I'm not going to waste more than necessary of the yarn. So I still have quite a bit of loose thread there to use up before I connect to the yarn cake again. But yeah, I did say I was going to make this with you, and I have. So hopefully you found this entertaining and will want to do other filet crochets with me. I'm sorry for not being able to show you more than I have done, but having the setup I have with the cameras I have, it's quite limiting what I can and cannot show. Well, no matter how much I want to have a close-up and show just how it looks when I'm actually working, I am not able to do that as of now. Maybe in the future when I get more equipment. But yeah. So basically after going back and forth as long as I feel like and have thread for, I will then try to make the thread go inside the work and work from there. I am not sure if this one is going to get a border or not. I still have some left of the and vintage yarn. Maybe I will make this one exclusive, but you can get it without. So if you want this example I've made in this video, please order from my store. It'll be open until at least middle of February, I think, something like that. And basically all you are paying for is the thread, and you're not paying for all the hours I put in it, and you also get free shipping. So hopefully that will show people that, hey, I'm not a pro or anything, I'm just trying to sell and not particularly make a living, but like at least pay for the thread I'm using for all my projects. So there's that. And that was one side. And then I just have to tuck in the last end, and I will pause the video and then finish off the final product with all the ends weaved in or tucked in, depending on what you want to say and or do. So we'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, this is the last check-in on this video. I have now made the ends tucked in, and voila! This is a typical filet crochet, but slightly altered in the way you do it to make it fit my way. You'll do it your way as long as you get the result you want. And yes, this piece will be put up on my Etsy shop, and you will be able to purchase it, and you can sew it onto your clothing, or you can put it on a bag. You can basically do whatever you want with it. You could gift it. I don't choose for you what you want to do. If you want any kind of border from this thread, as long as I have some left, do specify in the order. And just to show how the border will look, it's something like this. I cannot really control where the color changing are appearing, but it kind of makes it a stiffer look. I personally really like it. I'm not going to buy more of this vintage thread just to make borders. I am just trying to use up what I have. And that'll be it for this video. And to be fair, this cat and this paw, they look quite good together. Yeah, so that's going to be it for now, and hopefully you have found the video entertaining and or fun to watch, and hopefully you'll try make it, although I am probably very bad at making tutorials. I'm at least trying because I want to share my love for those who are interested. So yeah, hopefully you've had a good time, and we'll see each other again in the next video. Bye!